Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Jordan and today I am here with a book review of Transcendent Kingdom. Y'all, so Transcendent Kingdom, I'll be all the way real with y'all. When I picked up this book, I picked it up solely because of Homegoing. I knew nothing about the book, period, at all. So for those of you who have read Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi, that book is just phenomenal. So it was like, once I knew she was coming out with another book, I was like, I'm all here for it. I'm about to check this out, read it. And then I realized, oh no, this is written in a different format. I think it shows the author's like just depth, like how she's just a talented writer where she's just talented. I'm still not talking about the damn book. What is the book about? Okay, so the book is really following a family who starts off in Ghana and moves to Alabama, and basically how that move shaped their family, but additional to that, how religion, racism, mental health issues, addiction, all of that compacted and affected the family members in different ways. You're really mainly just following the point of view of Gifty, which is the daughter, you could say, or the sister in this case, and basically how her family's history has impacted a lot of the decisions that she has made. Her brother, you find out pretty much immediately, I think even in the synopsis, if you read it, that her brother passed away from an opioid addiction, Oxycontin, and he was a talented athlete, star, bright future, and all of this. But even before that, you see from the lens of Gifty how her family was shaped by religion, very heavily, her belief systems, that core of it, but also how her family moving to America from Ghana, how that kind of, in a way, almost tore her family apart. I will say, from a warning standpoint, there are topics discussed in this book that are triggering and very tough. And there are, suicide attempts and different stuff of that nature that are very heavy. And I don't want someone to pick up the book if that is something that is triggering for them. And you're following all of this, but it's not in a forced way. It's in a very casual, going through the motions way. The words are somewhat poetic at times. I felt like with this book, there's just so many things that you could quote. There was one quote that like tore me to shreds almost, because it was just so real. Like it was like, I had to find it. And that's the thing. I never share quotes, and I'm reading a quote, so that lets you know. But this quote really was like one of those. It says, "Just lying there in my bed was a testament to her perseverance, to the fact that she survived even when she wasn't sure she wanted to. I used to believe that God never gives us more than we can handle. But then my brother died, and my mother and I were left with so much more. It crushed us. It took me many years to realize that it was hard to live in this world. I don't mean the mechanics of living, because for most of us, our hearts will beat, our lungs will take in oxygen without us doing anything at all to tell them to do so. For most of us, mechanically, physically, it's harder to die than it is to live, but still we try to die." And I probably butchered that quote, but I mean, it's just like reading stuff like that. It's like, oh my gosh, like that's basically what you're reading and experiencing. But what I loved about this book was in such a relatable way that it ties in how your faith or your belief system kind of evolves over time. Like some of the things that you were taught or learned when you were younger, those are what were fed to you. But then how you begin through your adulthood and through life to shape your own belief system based off of what has happened in your life, as well as, that core is there sometimes, and embedded in you, but it does evolve with your life's experiences and kind of how you view the world and view people and view relationships and view yourself. I thought that was just so relatable. Like my background is quite different from Gifty, the characters in that, but coming up in a household where, you're growing up in the Christian faith, some of the things that you're taught or you're here, or those elements I related to quite a bit. Gifty, the main character, actually grew up in a town where in Alabama where they were pretty much the only black family, and they went to a pretty much all white church. So it also tackles like that uncomfortableness of being Christian and black in a white Christian structure, which, yeah, growing up in that, hearing the stuff that, she heard and stuff like that, it's just, but I can't go in depth in too many of the things. What I really will focus on is that the book was very well written. I was very invested in the characters. Gifty's brother, Nana, I was so invested in his story and him, and I felt like through the pages he became alive. Even Gifty's mother, I felt like such an attachment to everybody. Like, even talking about it, I'm kind of like tearing up thinking about the struggles that these each individual characters faced, and we don't get the full story. We see all of this through Gifty's lens, but still there's just so much compassion and warmth. And even the father, even when you're mad at him, like, there's a little bit of compassion there as well. I like it when books have you connect to characters and it stays with you. I've read this like maybe 3 weeks ago and it's still stuck with me. I will say this is not Homegoing. This is written in a completely different style. Nonetheless, I still, Homegoing, if we're going to say which one, if you haven't read either of the books, I would say start with Homegoing. That one's epic. But what I do think is interesting, if let's say someone didn't like the style of Homegoing, you could read this, you would think another author wrote it almost, because that's how wide or how much range the author has in their writing capabilities, because this reminded me nothing of Homegoing, which is a compliment because it was still so well done. So it lets me know that this author, I don't know a style that the author probably can't write in, if that makes sense. If you read the book, let me know what your thoughts were. I gave it 4 stars, but I feel like it was a 4.5, almost 5 stars. The only reason why I didn't give it 5 stars is because I told you I love the characters so much. I would have loved to hear the stories from the other characters' perspectives. But while I was reading, I really was like, man, especially Nana, I would have loved Nana to get from his perspective, how he felt about the situation. But in that sense, that's good writing, making me want more, right? Okay, well, that's all that I have for this book review. Do I recommend this book? Absolutely, I do recommend it, especially if you enjoy themes of religion as well as, just evolution, your sexuality, your religion, your mental health, understandings, all these different things. The book explores all of that. Yeah, I'm rambling. All right, well, I will see you guys in the next one. Love and light and deuces.